got this dirty mother.
Shut your mouth.
Man, I'm just talking about the drink, man. This 2-ounce cocktail, gonna build on nice. 1.5 ounce of brandy, 1/2 ounce of Kahlua. I mean, but hey, if you want that dirty white mother,
shut your mouth.
I'm just saying you had a splash of cream. Man. But it's your boy DJ 4Easy. I'm here with the lovely Mockingjay.
Hello.
And my boy Dolomite.
Yeah.
It's the Night Kapp, y'all. Take that sip.
It's the past that.
Welcome back. Just having some fun with the Night Kapp as we always do. And sometimes, we gotta bring y'all some real news. So, some of y'all may have heard about the child support theory. And there was a theory that was brought up in about the early 2016, about January of this year, that proposes that a card be issued to the custodial parent for child support. However, the theory also proposes that the card can only be used to buy food, pay for school supplies, school trips, clothes and shoes for the said child. As the child increases in size, that has to be reported so that certain size can be purchased for that child only. The card also would not work to purchase things such as cigarettes or alcohol. However, when the child turns 13, the card will be issued in the child's name, and the child will then be responsible for purchasing their own needs. So, before we delve a little bit deeper into what child support is actually appointed to cover, what do you boys think?
So look, 13-year-old got the option to say, hey, you need new clothes for school, and you need this for school, and the kid can be like, nah, I need that new PS4. I need that Xbox. I need that Xbox One. I need these 2 games, mama. That's what I need.
I do not agree with that age.
Yeah, it's the
now,
age. Your priority.
Maybe.
Honestly, I don't even agree with 17. Like, I think maybe the mother should take a portion and show the child how, or I'm not gonna say mother. I think the custodial parent should take a portion of whatever the child support is and show the child how to manage money. Be like, hey, you're gonna get this much every month. You need to make sure you have your clothes, your socks, your drawers, your food, blah 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 blah, and show that child how to manage money. I don't think they should be given the entire amount, especially if child is receiving
a portion of
amounts, like $4,000.
A portion of it should be given to that child for that child to basically have his own spending money for his own entertainment or whatever, or
and to learn also
pleasures or leisures or whatever it may be. That I could understand. Like, if say you're getting $700, okay, for a 13-year-old, they're giving that 13-year-old maybe
$50 a week.
50.
I'll even say for a 13-year-old, maybe even $75 a week. But this is how you're learning to buy your clothes, budget for your lunch money,
right?
Your bus fare or whatever it is that is in the lifestyle of that child.
Correct. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's at the age of 13. Mm-hmm. And I can see that amount increasing as the child gets older.
Okay.
Because as the child gets older, there are more and more needs that are going to have to be taken care of.
And they can be more and more responsible. But with the amount of child support I get, which is decent, it's more money than my 13-year-old would need. I mean, my child's 11, but if she was 13, she does not need to have any amount of money on a debit card unless I want to see it be spent on in-game app purchases, Sprite, and Skittles, Starburst.
That's what I said. It's all about prioritizing their priorities when you work.
And then, that's how you teach them with giving them a certain amount every week as an allowance. And then the rest you need to use properly on what child support covers. I do actually want to go over what child support would cover for those of you that don't know. So, and this theory is not happening, but there is now a card for child support, and it's supposed to keep the child support funds from being misused by a custodial parent. However, I don't think it could be misused for the simple fact that child support covers, but is not limited to, food, appropriate clothing, shelter, medical care, uninsured medical expenses, i.e. glasses and braces, educational fees, i.e. lunch money and tutors, child care, transportation. Your transportation must be reliable and safe. So, you can use your child support for car maintenance, gas, insurance, etc. age-appropriate entertainment. The child must be entertained. TV, internet, movies, amusement parks, etc. Extracurricular activities, anything that goes on after school. So it'll be sports, summer camp, Girl or Boy Scouts, and other non-school related expenses. And then college is a totally different expense. Child support is used to cover your shelter costs, and it will basically be a percentage of your rent, your lights, your phone, utility bills are all calculated into child support. In some states, it's calculated that you get so much child support compared to how much time the child spends with the custodial parent to the non-custodial parent. So let's say the child spends 100% time with the custodial parent, and we'll say that child takes up $200 of the rent. That the non-custodial parent is obligated to pay $100 of that. And, so everything that the child would add up and pay, you'd have to pay a portion of, that non-custodial parent contributes to half of that cost. So, with that being said, I really just don't see that being a 13-year-old's responsibility to make sure a portion of the rent is paid and a portion of the lights is paid, because that's not what they're thinking about. As far as I was 13, I thought it was free.
Look, I started working when I was 15 years old. That's when I jumped into the workforce. Been working ever since. I'm 27 now? I'll be 28 this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, been working since I was 15 years old. Like, as far as doing what I was supposed to do, like, I cut grass before that to make money. So, yeah.
I babysat.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 13 years old, I knew what was going on, but that time, I didn't have that much money to squander. Like, that's too much money to squander. Like, they're gonna squander. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna spend this on what they're supposed to, because they don't understand what they're supposed to spend their money on yet.
Especially, we impressionable at 13, impressing your friends. If you're one of those children that receive $800 for child support, and then at 13 you're receiving $800 a month, you buying J's for yourself. If your friend got your own shoe size, what keeps you from buying 2 pairs of J's?
Young Carlito.
What keeps you from buying 2 Xboxes, one for you and one for your friend, trying to impress people?
Young Scarface.
And then, within a week and a half, you're broke, and your mother needs help with paying the light bill that you ran up playing your new Xbox. Your mother needs help with the internet bill that you ran up playing your new Xbox. Your mother needs help with the food that you ate while you played your new Xbox. Your mother needs help with this house that your friends done helped you mess up in your bedroom while you played your new Xbox. I don't think that is an appropriate aid for a child to be able to take care of themselves.
It's true, but you can tell that you're going to get her back next month, Tom.
Right, Mama. I'm sorry. I got you back next month. You can get a quarter of my child support, so that we can help with the bills.
Next month,
that kid ain't gonna understand, because next month it's gonna be some other shit.
Your car insurance to get me from summer camp and sport, to my sporting events. We'll get you back on that next month, Mom. I'm sorry the car broke down.
Kid room gonna look like.
But what they got to do with me? I'm a kid, right?
Super fun playhouse in the room, but not wondering. But then when the lights cut off, he gonna wonder why.
I'm a kid,
Exactly. So, the way I see it is, I think it's not rational at all, for the simple fact, if I'm a mother, and child support, you get a little something usually at one point of time in the month. I don't know when that point of time in the month for anyone else is. I just know when mine is. So let's say my light bill is due before my check comes in, but my child support comes in first. What am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and take care of that bill. And then when my check comes in, then I can use that money to continue to take care of my child. Or anything that was used with my own check to take care of that child, if I had to take the whole cost, then I can take say say Girl Scouts. My child doesn't do Girl Scouts, but say it's a $100 fee, and my child support didn't come in before my check did, so I had to eat that entire $100. I think it's okay for me to take $50 from that child support to do anything that might not be related to my child that I might have to do for myself, because I had already paid it and took over that cost for the other parent before my child support came in. I don't think that would make me a bad parent if I took $50 because I ate the whole cost previously before my child support came in. I mean, I don't see that being something wrong.
Yeah. And it's not, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's supposed to, like, you gotta understand, things have to be paid on certain schedules. Everything's gonna be done on a schedule just because this person, like, if you're saying this card is supposed to go here and it's supposed to go for these things, but the money comes at this time and the bills due at this time, even if that card is supposed to be used for this, at a certain point it has to be stockpiled so that it can be paying things on time.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And if it's not, things are still going to be off schedule. Things are still going to be off whack. Nobody's going to get done what they're supposed to get done, and things still might get cut off and or have to be reinstalled or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, complications will happen if someone isn't responsible enough to make sure that the money's going where it's supposed to go. It doesn't matter who you give it to. If it's not going to the person that's going to be responsible enough to make sure that it goes where it's supposed to go for the purposes that it's supposed to go to, it's going to be overused, it's going to be overlooked, and it's going to be squandered.
I mean, it can actually definitely be misused by the child versus it being misused by the custodial parent, because
it's just as easy both ways.
It's easy to be done, because it's like, okay, I might use I'm not saying I do this, but we're just saying in theory, the custodial parent might use a portion of her child support to get a new hair weave.
What's the difference between a child and a child?
As long as the lights are on and the internet bill is paid and the TV bill is paid and the cable bill is paid and the rent's paid, if she took a couple dollars and did something to make herself feel good, mothers need that. And so do fathers, because I'm not saying that all custodial parents are moms, but whatever it is that they've done, possibly to do a little treat for themselves, I don't think that they don't deserve it. Now, I'm not saying use your entire child support, on yourself. That's wrong. But, if you use a portion to do something to make yourself feel good, and you've already made sure that everything that needs to be handled is handled, and you paid 100% of that cost for that child, I think you can remove your 50% from that child support to do what you got to do.
I think they should definitely have stipulations, like, okay, like maybe they could do certain clothing stores for this. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
like,
so
what clothing stores do you feel?
I'm just saying, like,
appropriate?
I'm like, okay, be like, okay, this is they can at least start with uniform.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
From the, you know what I mean? So places that are stipulated, that's for sure. The kids have to purchase their clothes here for school. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, or certain shoe stores be like, okay, this is a pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? That's marked on a card. It can be used right. So just like EBT, just like food, just how it says food, but it can't be cooked. When you use food stamp card,
purchase those already fried chicken.
Well, with those cards, there'll be shoes, but they can't be fresh. No, I'm playing. I'm just joking.
But for real though, like, I mean, I understand. I feel like, of course, things should be. If you're gonna do that, things have to be regulated to where the card has to be spent. It would be, you would have to do too much regulating to give that card to a child.
Definitely.
It's too much. It's too many regulations.
Like I said, EBT. I mean, if you're gonna, you have to limit that to one store, like one type of item.
And one
food,
pair of
not
shoes,
cooked.
one shirt,
Food not cooked. You got the food not cooked those guys.
I mean, once the child is 13, you would have to regulate that card more for a 13-year-old than you would for the custodial parent. Like I said, if I gave my child a card with her full child support, I would see all that money go towards in-app purchases for her, the games that she plays on her iPad, and Skittles and Starburst, Juicy Drop Pops, and Sprite.
Yeah, like, if you want to teach them some values, they would virtually really have no freedom. So.
Yes, give them give them an allowance with that if that's the case. But make that something. That should be a stipulation. The theory should be, okay, you can't buy cigarettes and alcohol, but when the child turns 13, the card isn't turned over to the child's name. A card is issued for the child with a portion of the child support on it. And teaching your child about monetary responsibility
and about managing money.
Exactly.
I could understand that.
I definitely can.
Like we were saying, something like $50 a week. Maybe, even in some cases that may be too high. But I mean, I feel like that's something better and more manageable if you're gonna give a child something. I mean, there's no way you should give a child that much money when they don't know the responsibilities of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, at 13, you have no sense of what exactly is going on. And as time goes on, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay, yeah, you're gonna get better. You're gonna start learning other things. But come on, man, you see how many 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds we got out here who still don't understand? There's no way you're going to tell me that you're supposed to be giving, that you should, or you're thinking about giving that power to a 13-year-old.
I mean, honestly, the way I see it, I would do my child like, hey, I have a debit for you. They can have a debit with their name on it, and it's going to be empty until I route some money to it, until I route some money over to it through my bank account. And now you're out, and I want to make sure you got some money on you, but I want to make sure it's not cash. Here you go. It's 100 on that card, son. You gonna have some fun.
You know what I'm saying? Saving your money.
Save your money, yeah.
I also want to discuss your thoughts of some of the criticisms of people feeling that child support should not be forced upon, a father. They say if a mother can abort a child that a father wants, or can give birth to a child that a father does not want, then a father should be able to do an abortion. And what that means is he can't force the woman to have an abortion. But when a woman gets pregnant, she has 3 options: abortion, adoption, or motherhood. So, with that being said, a father can say, and you have to do it within time for her to actually get an abortion, a father can say, I want nothing to do with this child. I give up all rights. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot pursue a judge for me to pay you. This is a theory. It's not happening. But it's just a theory. You cannot look me. You can't make me pay anything. So when that mother now knows that he's given up his rights, he's done all the paperwork, you are, let's say, 8 weeks pregnant, you still have time to have an abortion or put the child up for adoption or consider motherhood. If you're considering motherhood, you will have to consider, can you do this on your own without support? Now, if he doesn't do that, you can pursue him for support until the cows come home. He has the first 3 months, which is basically 12 weeks of your pregnancy, of that being a healthy time, safe time to actually abort the pregnancy. He has to have done that, by that time or before that time. So if that is what you decide to do, you can do it. If you feel that you cannot raise this child without additional help, but if you feel that you can financially support a child on your own, then you can definitely go for it. But you cannot pursue the father for any assistance or to assist you with any type of care for the child. So. And what do you fellas take on something like that? Like, if it was a law, like, how do you feel about that?
The way I feel about that, man, I got a lot, I always got a lot to say about it a little bit. But I mean, it's a wild sense just because. I mean, I thought about it just while we were saying it, and this is nothing to nobody, you know what I'm saying? But if that was a law, okay, granted, you're gonna have a lot more people that make a little more responsible decisions before going through with a full pregnancy term. Cool.
I agree, and especially sadly to say, but it does happen. Women that get pregnant on purpose.
Now,
these are the women to keep a man or to have a meal ticket.
These are the women that I want to talk about, because if the stipulations are put out flat out on the table, they're gonna hide. They're not gonna say anything within them 3 months.
I never even thought about that.
They're not gonna say anything within them 3 months, and then when it pops up, it's already too late for that man to make any decision.
Yeah.
Tests are proven, and it's his. He still has to deal.
I agree, man.
That's the scapegoat with that. That's the scapegoat with that.
You know, E, I gotta say, man, I agree. It's like caveman style. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is, it's civilized now. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing between us and the other animals out there. We civilize it. You get it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, because back in the day, 300 style. They ain't want the kid, they throw him off a cliff. If an animal right now, you know what I mean, an elephant, goddamn it, a wolf, whatever, they don't want a pup, they get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's actually a large cat breed. I forget what the breed was, but while she's in heat, she will mate with several males, so that way they will not kill her child because they don't know if it's theirs or not.
It don't matter. We the only species that got the damn test.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
We're the only ones that
so we make make each other own up to them children. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that option of forgetting them dust in the wind.
Well, my whole thing is really like, I mean, women, I don't think they are. I know I'm not opposed to a man putting on a condom or protection or however it is. I'm not opposed to it, so I'm not gonna, if I'm gonna lay down with somebody, and especially if we're not in a serious relationship, if I'm gonna lay down with someone, I'm not going to just be like, and they don't want to use a condom. If they want to use a condom, I'm gonna be like, oh no, the only way you can have sex with me is if you're not using a condom. Like, that is crazy? Not going to be a response.
You know what's crazy?
That comes out of any woman's mouth.
No, there are some women out there like that.
Oh, that's gross. And y'all shouldn't be fucking them. I'm sorry. You should not be having sex with those types of women.
Just letting y'all know about the world.
I didn't know that there was a woman that was like,
no, there's plenty of them.
Having sex with me.
No, there's a lot of them.
If you don't use a condom.
No, there's a lot of them.
I just didn't know.
No.
I didn't know.
It's the thing. Look it up.
I'm going to, because it's disgusting.
Yeah. Think about it.
That is gross.
Anything that you can think of that you can say that you wouldn't do, I can guarantee you there's 100 people just in your city that would do that.
That would do that. Okay, well, like I said, okay, for me particularly, if I'm about to lay down with somebody and they're like, oh wait, let me get a condom, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Because honestly, at this point in time, it's just like the best thing that can happen with all the things going on in this world right now. The best thing that can happen is getting pregnant. It's like, okay, I had unprotected sex and all I got was pregnant. You know, you could have got chlamydia.
Huh?
You could have got herpes. You could have got genital warts. You could have got HIV. You know, it's just like all of the things that could have happened to you, and all you got was pregnant. You're fucking lucky. And like chlamydia, you can get rid of. Herpes, you cannot. But with that being said, you can get rid of a baby if you're not ready, or you feel that you shouldn't be a mother. You know, and you're just being responsible and not trying to keep a man by having this baby. You've got to make more responsible choices.
This is not to say that we're for or against, abortion or anything like that. We just letting y'all know about, things that we find. Like, it's real. Like, people considered this.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm pro-choice, actually, but preferential, I would not choose it for myself. I would prefer not to have to make that choice for me. For me, I would want, in most cases, I would want to choose life. But I feel that there are instances, it's just like, if you're being honest with yourself and you know you're not ready to be a parent, then that might be what you have to do. Because you're not giving that child their best life possible, and you know you can't. So, I mean, I hate to call it what it is and to look at it as what people say it is, but, that's what it turns out to be. And, as far as the child support theory, I'm glad it's not something that's actually happening, because
That's not an effect,
okay.
That is not an effect.
That's not a good effect. It should never happen in any circumstances unless, like I said, maybe the child gets a portion and you teach them how to pay for their own lunches at school. You teach them how to buy their own shoes, and you teach them how to budget and how things need to go. And that would teach them responsibility.
Just
and be a good parent. Do not use your child support to buy Hennessy. So, that's really what it's all about. Be a good parent. It's about these kids.
Night Kapp.
Night Kapp.